right. We should be live. Rodney already in the building. Let's go here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. See, we good to go. Let's see what's up, everyone. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. We should be good. Is it coming up? What's going on with this stupid thing? Oh, man, there's so many troubles. All right. Why is this not working for me? Is anybody here? Okay, good. Hey, I didn't know. It's not showing me any people or anything. It's not showing me anything. I didn't even know people were there. I'm just kind of just fucking with this thing. All right, Texas Dog, can you see me? I changed the orientation on the camera. Let me know if you can see me, and then I guess we'll just kick this thing off because I don't know how many people are in here. Normally, I do 3 minutes to 10 people, so I'll just give it 3 minutes since it's not populating how many folks are in here, and then we will get right into Chad's perspectives on location from Sacramento. Let me adjust this here, move this here so that you can see me. All right, awesome. Awesome. We got 20 seconds. Then we're going to dive in. First, I'm going to start with announcements, and then we'll get into some of the perspectives. Pretty excited. I've been having a good time. Got in late last night. Had some big fun. Big fun. Oh, now it's showing people. All right. And that is 3 minutes. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Chad's Perspectives. Skykey Technologies, $70. What the hell did I buy from them? All right. I'll look at them later. Um, okay. So here's the deal. Let me turn off my notifications because that's gonna distract me. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm here, Chat's Perspectives, viewer choice. I put out a post in my community tabs for people to give me topics, and I got some good ones, so we're gonna get into those. First things first, though. This is an ode to Mike Newland, who told me just shut up and pick a date already for the South Florida meetup in July. South Florida, we will be meeting up July 25th. That is the date that I've chosen. It is a Saturday. People can plan. You can make your plans. So, location. I kicked around a few, but I actually knew of a good one that I've met with people at before, and it was successful. You don't have to reserve anything. The food's good. The beer is incredible. And that is going to be Twin Peaks in West Palm Beach. It's off of Okeechobee Road. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna set. Twin Peaks, Okeechobee Road, July 25th. I will be there. Um, let's call it 7:30 p.m. because I'm writing everything down. 7:30, Twin Peaks, Okeechobee Road, West Palm Beach, July 25th. That is what we're gonna plan for. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. All right. Okay, now I'm starting to see everything. Amazing. Background balloon in the building. Mike Newland. Oh, also because I'm on my cell phone, because I brought my laptop, but I forgot my charger. So my laptop's dead. So I'm doing this on my cell phone. That's why this is so low rent and low budget. There's no thumbnail and so on and so forth. Background balloon asks, how is Sacramento? Oh no, I'm not doing that. Give me a second. Shit. Okay, how's Sacramento treating me? Amazing. Weather's beautiful. I thought it was going to be much colder, but the weather's actually pretty beautiful. Sacramento's cool. Hey, Chad, in Subic Bay, Philippines. That's what's up, man. Keep moving. Hey, friends. What's up? Philip here. Points with Philip. Is in the building. Points with Philip. Dem in the building. Oh, his birthday's the 26th. Awesome. Another July. My firstborn daughter's born in July. What's up? Well, hopefully you can make it. Simple Finance Bites. What's up, Chad? What's going on? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So that is my first announcement. So I got some things that people wanted perspectives on, and I'm going to do those first, and then I'm going to have a perspective about something that's been plaguing the community lately. So let's get into the stuff that people took their time and submitted, because I want to make sure that that gets its attention, and then we'll talk about me. I'm not important. So New Again actually submitted a comment on the community post where he put in three separate points, right? And that is because I'm reading off of here. He said, which brands are more resilient considering points devaluations, inflation, so on and so forth? Who can you really still set your clock to get definitive value from? And who and why? Okay. The next one is to explain people's disdain for built outside of just being unfounded, unreasonable hatred. And the third one is make a good case for the graphite card. That was actually the most difficult. Then also, I had Choco Fernandez, new member of the channel. He also asked the appropriate level of annual fees that people should have in their credit card collection. Like what is a good level? How much should you really be paying out for these card memberships? And I think that is absolutely fantastic question, because a lot of people they struggle with that. Just the idea of paying a membership into a credit card company for the privilege to use their credits is still something a lot of people can't bend their brain around. So, yeah, let's do it. And I promise you, I have not done any of the Peruvian marching candy. It's just my allergies. It makes my nose itch. Um, so the very first one, my perspective on which brands are resilient. Honestly, normally you would say smaller, but I would go bigger. I still think that of all of them, I want to say more resilient value is going to be through Marriott. And part of that is because it's one of my favorite brands, but also Marriott still has so many avenues for you to leverage their points, and it's in addition to their credit cards and the statuses that you get. Their lifetime tiered statuses are easier to attain and has a much more straightforward layout than the than has a much more easier layout to pick up on than if like Lifetime Diamond with Hilton. I don't even think Hyatt has one. And I mean, if you get invited to Marriott Cobalt, that's even better. That's their invite only status. I think that Marriott, because of the breadth of their program, is probably what you're going to find the best overall value with, and that considers their footprint and their range of properties. That is going to be straight up and down, and that's with all of the points ups and downs and so on and so forth, because there's so many different ways to both earn and use Marriott points. Because now all of a sudden, ever since I did my upgrade to Emirates and got first class and got 8 cents per point from Marriott, I can tell you what, the community was absolutely silent. But now for some reason everyone seems to be discovering that you can transfer Marriott points to airlines, and people are acting like they reinvented the fucking wheel. I don't understand. I kind of don't even understand the news cycle here, because I've already done this. I've already laid it out, but everyone's acting like they literally just discovered fire. But whatever, whatever. It is what it is. That is a part of being an innovator. Sometimes people just don't see your innovations. So yeah, that is for the first one. Is going to be Marion, and I thank you for that one. Do again. Now the second one he put in: explain a bill pay. Honestly, here's the thing. My perspective as far as build hate is concerned. I've never really hated build. I got the first built 1.0 card. I thought it was a great card. Thought it was a wonderful alternative to the CSP. I thought it was a solid card, even though their earning structure was a little unconventional. The protections and the ancillary benefits of the card and the ecosystem that they built around a single card, not a card system, but a single card I thought was done very well, even though it cost Wells Fargo quite a bit of money. I I I, I just think it was done very well. What up, Rick? Um, it was done very well. So I've never really hated Built. Their rollout of Built 2.0, I think, was extremely. I'm gonna say it was just full of disarray. I even said it before. They were pretty much building the plane while they were flying it and hoped that people cheered for the turbulence. Some people did, some people didn't. And that's what it was. And my original idea was not even to get a built 2.0 card, except that I needed the sub because I needed to do something for my kid. And that was just the easiest one to get. They were giving it away. So I took it. But aside from that, I think a lot of the unreasonable hatred for built, it really gets personal rather than professional. Because a lot of the times people come into this thing and they see a lot of the redemptions and they just want something for nothing. They think that credit card companies owe them something, when in truth, they do not. These are firms whose number one, is to return value to the shareholders, to make money. And then third, finally, maybe offer you something. It is what it is. That is just what business is in this day and age. That's just what you gotta deal with. Before I continue, because I see the comments stacking up, I don't want to get too far behind. Dem says hope is and like I said, I'm not putting the comments up because my phone makes me confirm every time and it just irritates the shit out of me. So Dem says hope Sack's treating you well. It is Peruvian marching candy, aka booger sugar. Yeah, no, I do not indulge. I do not indulge. I serve not a cokehead. I don't even drink Coca-Cola. Background balloon says if your allergies picked up in Sacramento, us in NorCal have been getting wrecked. I can totally understand it. What? Ricardo Johnson, my homie, Big Rick Rock. Tim says, despite what the haters say, built is a net positive for the industry overall. Those that don't see that are either blaze or uninformed. Oh, lazy or uninformed. Yeah, actually, and shout out to Happy Tom. I'm here at the Sacramento mini meetup, and Happy Tom actually reminded me of ways that I was leaving money on the table with Built. So shout out to him. Last night I met up with him, Joe Barreto, Rodney Thomas, who's in the chat, Dr. No, Yuri, Johnny Ma, Shatan. Why am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting a person. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting a person? I don't think I'm forgetting a person, but I feel like, oh, Joe Barreto. And yeah, he reminded me that I could use Built Cash, which I have a considerable amount of, and I was able to get a lift back to my hotel, $10 off, bada bing, bada boom. Put that with my CSP, got the 5x points there, got the Built points there. It was a beautiful thing. You can get value from this, so it was pretty awesome. Simple Finance Bite says I had no idea that the Sacramento meetup. I'm down in San Jose. Maybe next time. Bro, I've been announcing this every week on these broadcasts. Now, mind you, this is the first time I've seen you in the broadcast, but yeah, I've been announcing it every week for the past 2 months. I'm actually going to be in San Jose, not this week, but next week. I got to do some work at one of my sites down by the college, so I'm going to be over there next week. So yeah, I was in San Jose a lot last month too. So yeah, I mean, for sure. Hey, it's no big deal. No big deal at all. But yeah, we have these mini meets, and a lot of the times, I don't know about anybody else. In my live feeds, I make it my business to announce meetups because I have been on your end and been around, but not been in the know, and especially if you're not in the discords and stuff. But yeah, man, I announce all of this stuff as soon as I get it. Um, oh, it's Ernest. I don't know why I didn't remember your Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. Obviously, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Ernest. Absolutely. Background Balloon says, for what it's worth, when there can be a case that having a stack of CCCs, so City Custom Cash and City Freedom Flexes, Discover It cards is less complicated than built. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah. You don't have to deal with a lot of stuff that you would have to do with one simple built card. Um, Background Balloons asking San Jose City College. I don't remember what the college is, but I know there was one very close. It's like a stadium right next to my work site. Um, KRS 1905 says, Built is addicted to stepping on rakes. Reminds me of the sideshow Bob Gift. Three partner banks in 4 years. The points and the cards are good. The company is broken. Just look at the support issues. Absolutely. I am not going to sit here and say that Built is perfect. I did like their iteration of Built 1.0. I think they tried to do too much all at the same time. They took the Facebook approach by going fast and breaking things and built 2.0. And I think they broke more things than they did go fast. Actually, they only went fast at breaking things. And yeah, I mean, I don't the Palladium is a strong earner. It is, especially with the accelerator. It's just a strong earner. It's just a strong card with strong benefits. And I'm discovering that as I am using it. You know what I mean? So I'm still actually building my knowledge base on that. Professor X says, what is happening, Mr. Chad? Good to see you, brother. Showing the love from one YouTuber to another. Salute to you. Salute to you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Dem says one rent day bonus at 125% crushes any of those multipliers. Absolutely. I'm guessing Mission College because Levi Stadium's hella close. That's probably what it is. But we'll have to figure that out. Filmo's World says, hope all folks are having a blast in Sacramento. What when when's when's that South Florida meetup? I, I announced that at the top of the program. I'll announce it again at the end, but I'll announce it right now. I'm going to be hosting a South Florida meetup July 25th at Twin Peaks in West Palm Beach. Twin Peaks is on Okeechobee Road. That is Saturday, 7:30 p.m. I just picked the date. I picked the time because Mike Newland forced me because I was bullshitting and I was hemming and hawing and wasn't getting to work. So I got to work. That is where the meetup will be. They have super long tables, great food, great beer, great scenery. Twin Peaks is what I've decided on. So I'll see you there. Double double animal fries. What's up? What's going on? Dem says Chad AV built Discord is super active if you need tips. Oh yeah, he did create one. Yeah, so like I dip and dab in there, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Once again, I'm still building my knowledge base there. So let's get back to the perspectives. So back to Built. Well, actually, we're still talking about Built. Yeah, I think a lot of the hate is it's not that it's unfounded. People have a right to be upset. People have a right to be confused. But if you're confused, you can't then say because you're confused that automatically makes you upset. Then that's just that's a fallacy that you just can't really support. Built has done a lot of weird things with Built 2.0. I think they outsmarted themselves with it and they're trying to now reel it back. And then in addition to that, they've made missteps with the foreign transaction fee debacle and the fact that they have to reel that back. It's just their learning curve is just it's their learning curve has speed bumps in it. That's the best way I can put it. So that is what I feel about Built. Next one, the graphite card. I really wanted to save my opinion of the graphite card for the first episode of Bullseye or Bullshit being hosted on John R's channel April 3rd. I think that's Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be sharing the thumbnail for that. It's going to be starring John R, Kirby G, and yours truly. But yeah, I want to save it for Bullseye or Bullshit, but let's talk about it now. The Graphite card. Can I make a good case for the Graphite card? For YouTubers, no. For low spenders, no. That card essentially looks like it's replaced the Plum card, but the Plum card really didn't get a lot of love on YouTube anyway because people couldn't refer it. There was no sub, and it was for people who actually spent sincere amounts of money replacing inventory and so on and so forth, who needed time to pay. So really and truly, it's a pure business card in the sense that American Express put out a charge card, 2% cash back, and they advertise the simplicity of the card right next to a $300 annual fee. Now, that annual fee is a cost of doing business, so it would stand to reason that it would be a deductible business expense. But I even use the very calculator that's on the Amex website, and you can calculate exactly how many times over you can save on this card. I can't make a good case of it for personal use. I cannot. I would not suggest anyone get this for personal use because it is in the purest sense of a card, it's a credit vehicle that that is for businesses who are serious about spending money to make money. So you stumped me there. New again. I can't make that reach without sprinkling bullshit all over the place, and I would hate to do that. I definitely want to be honest with that. So big salute to the super chat from Polygraph's Zone. I know you fly more than most. News out: JetBlue looking to sell United, Alaska, and Southwest as possible buyers. Any thought on which loyalty program would be the most affected and most affected positively and or negatively? Honestly, for JetBlue specifically, aggressively, I think United should go after them the most. And the reason being is because United has, if I recall correctly, they have more presence in LaGuardia as opposed to JFK, which they could then horn in on American and Delta's presence in JFK. I think United should aggressively go after them. And then also with that, breaking into the European markets by way of places other than Germany, where the Lufthansa group goes with their Star Alliance membership. This would then open up a bit more presence in Heathrow and Gatwick because basically you have your Middle Eastern carriers in England, and then also you have your Sky Team and One World, and they're kind of squeezing United. So you have British Airways on one hand and Virgin on the other, right? Where's your air for your Star Alliance? I think United should go after them. I think they would be the most positively affected. And that's just U.S. to European traffic. Oh my god. Uh, Fuck camera. Hey, I'm back. Can you get? Can Can you guys see me now? All right. Put a one in the chat if you can see me and hear me. I'm sorry. I got a phone call. I put do not disturb on to prevent that. I don't know why that happened. All right. Welcome back. So, yeah, like I'm saying, the best person to buy that would be United. I hope they sell to United. I think that would be a fantastic move on their part. If Alaska were to get it, Alaska could then bookend the country. Number one, they could draw JetBlue into the One World fold. They've already had their purchase of Hawaiian Airlines, which extended their reach into Japanese markets, even though I think they had reach in there, but it's much better since you have such a large Japanese population in Hawaii. But if they were to do that and then get JetBlue, literally, they could book in the US. And I mean, that would strengthen the One World Alliance across the board. JetBlue has a rabid fan base. I used to be a super duper JetBluer, so and they have a good product. They really do. I mean, for some place that does not have a dedicated domestic first class, I definitely think JetBlue has a good product. And if Alaska was in the hunt, it it would be good for them. I still think United has the best upside for it. Now, for Southwest, I do not think that would be good at all. For Southwest wanting to buy JetBlue, JetBlue innovated a lot of things that the airline industry really came with because JetBlue were the ones who came out with direct TV on all flights. And at first they had the free bags, they had the blue chips, the blankets. They JetBlue came with a lot of stuff that the legacy air carriers picked up and then just knocked up the ticket price for that JetBlue was offering when they were just a budget airline. That was before they had their dedicated hub and dedicated wings at JFK. That was when they were just mainly out of Boston. But I think United would be the best bet for that. So moving down to the next one, Background Balloon says, Built is basically great if you want to invest time into it. Stack 5x cards and just need less time, relatively speaking, to be put into it. Okay, Nemo Los Angeles, what's going on? Dan says, I'd love for it to be Alaska since it would expand their East Coast routes, but United is very likely. New Again says, JB has only mentioned Alaska and Southwest for legal reasons. They plan 100% to sell to United. Okay, but don't be fooled. Any of the big three getting JetBlue hurts the public. Okay, lost me. If it happened, they low key hoping uh Wells Fargo somehow pulls Atmos as a transfer partner. That would be awesome. Chad is gone. Must have gotten a phone call. Yeah, I did. We all know that's it because I was trying to break down his door. This is that would be great background. They're keeping partnership with Built pretty exclusive. They are trying to avoid dilution and devaluation of the program. And then everybody is back. Okay, everybody sees me. Anthony Venture in the building. King Sam Visuals. I would like to be Alaska would greatly improve the East Coast. Background balloon, not happening. Alaska already said they are not a fan of indirect program earnings for Atmos points. Built is paying a premium. That's why they still exist. If United were to go after and buy JetBlue, do you think Barclay would transfer their card holders to United? That is a good question. Barclay as a bank, the American side of the pond wants as many people as they can get their hands on, and rightfully so. Whereas Barclay is a snake with a long memory, and their Barclays blacklist will have to kind of like ease up so that people can get it. Now, with that, if they were to do that, this is a fantastic question by one Kevin P. Um, I think it would be in their best interest to do it. I think United should buy the whole kit and caboodle. If they were to do it, just get it there, or at least work out a way to phase the cards over, because then also United with their partnership with Chase can make some improvements on the JetBlue cards, which are not very well laid out. I think there's one of them I did a video on a long time ago that is pretty decent for the casual flyer, but their top card is just not good. I just missed it. Well, blacklisted for 15 plus years. But yes, yes, I've been blacklisted at Barclays for 25 years now over an Apple iTunes card from 2001 that I defaulted on. So, like any Barclays card, they don't even run my credit. The minute my name comes up, I'm immediately the the Emirates card is a Barclays card. Who else is a Barclays card? The Aviator card, but no, they'll have nothing to do with me. I don't even bother with Wyndham. Built is also pretty entrenched in Alaska. They attend each other's strategic planning retreats and seem to have a solid relationship. So yeah. So now back to the lecture at hand because we are halfway through. So I touched on the graphite card. Now the next perspective, and this is submitted by Choco Fernandez once again. And you guys, my members, thank you so much for being a member of the channel. I thank you for dealing with me and putting up with me, but nothing will stop these broadcasts, even me getting phone calls. Will not stop these broadcasts. So we're gonna keep rolling on here. The appropriate level of annual fees. I've been seeing a lot of different I've been seeing a lot of different people reducing their card stocks, cutting cards, streamlining their annual fees for their cards versus their credits and what have you. You get a lot of those going on and a lot of videos, and those videos tend to do well. And you'll get like a round of them towards the beginning of the year, towards when people's annual fees are coming up, and it's a thing, right? But what Choco put in was that he thinks that it should be 1% of your gross income. Okay. I can I can respect that as a great barometer, depending on what it is that you make. Yeah, you can put that. If you gross 100K, 1% of your gross is what, $1,000? That is okay. $1,000 gets you, if you want to get a platinum card and couple of 95, well, or at least $150 card left over, you can do that. You can mix it up with a bunch of mid-level cards at $1,000. Couple of them, get them some no annual fee cards. Absolutely. I personally think my perspective is your appropriate level of annual fees should be 7% of the redemption value that you can get from their ecosystems. As an example, if you are a member of my channel, I recently did a members only live where the advertised I outlined the advertised trips that I've put on my channel and how many points I spent and how much money I spent out of pocket. I took $100,000 worth of advertised point travel. That's just the stuff you guys know about. That's not counting the stuff me and the wife did just because we did, or stuff that I haven't even filmed yet. And that's where I came out to about 7% because I ended up, it was about $100,000. I spent about $7,000 out of pocket, and I've been all over the world these past 4 years. And frankly, it's appropriate for me. It does not crush me, so to say. It doesn't put me in crushing debt. So I would say 7% of the redemption value is a decent barometer because I have personally lived that. So if you are not redeeming points, if you are redeeming cash back, if you are not redeeming points for actual travel and you are just hoarding them and you are not seeing a return, remember, inflation does not turn off. So every day you don't use these, they are less valuable. But if you are not redeeming, if you're paying for memberships into these programs, it should be, I'll even give you some wiggle room, 7 to 10% of your redemption value. So if you can redeem $25,000 worth of travel in a year, which is respectable, it's very respectable. I'll give you up to $2,500 in annual fees that you can pay because that's just redemption. I'm not even talking about the ancillary products and protections that the programs offer. You know what I mean? Because there are other values that do not go hand in hand with the redemption, but those two are values. So that is what I would say personally. between 7 and 10% of your redemption value, because that is the other end of the coin. People get cards, they amass points. They might get it for one specific feature, but you have to view these programs in totality. These programs in totality can return value way above and beyond the stated norms. You know what I mean? Their intrinsic values will go much higher than their extrinsic values. Like a great example is airline cards. For someone to get a 150 or $300 airline card, let's say I just had one airline card and I had no other credit cards, and I took my 140 flights that I took last year, and I consistently travel with two bags, my clothes and my tools. The average price for the first bag, $35. Average price for the second bag, $45. That's each way, each way when you check them. So that's $160 per flight. Now let's take out leisure travel. Let's carve that down to 100 flights. 100 flights, 80 bucks, and just start carrying the zeros. That's how much value you can return. That's just in check bag fees. That's it. That's all. Just give that some thought. So I would say 7% of your planned redemption value. So that means if you're getting these cards and you're using these points and you're using these things, you need to have an idea of what it is that you're going to redeem for and how much of this you can chalk that up as cost of goods, basically the cost of goods sold. You know what I mean? Speaking from a corporate finance standpoint. So that would be my perspective. But also, if you want to base it on your gross income, like King Sam Visual says here, there's not a right or wrong answer. First year, almost every card is worth it. There are also many intangible benefits like check bags, FNCs, free breakfast that add up and are variable. Absolutely. That was just my take on it. He has his take as well. I mean, as a matter of fact, why don't you guys answer in the chat? What do you think the appropriate level of annual fees are? Because I think that was an awesome subject, and that's something I never given any thought to. I almost feel like I want to make a whole video just on that, giving different examples. But that is a great, great, great point. Let's go here. In the same boat. It was some white Barclays card I defaulted on 15 years ago. Ian Kim on the Barclays blacklist with me. No more Mr. Nice Guy 4 says book secrets in St. Lucia. Haven't told the boss, haven't told my boss yet. Hey man, you have a good time. I think Secrets is Hyatt, right? If I recall correctly, I think the Secrets brand is Hyatt. I've heard good things about them. I hope you have a great time. Dem says, keep in mind that annual fees can also be temporarily inflated due to cards with subs that might churn and burn. Think that applies more when you're gardening, in my opinion. My current annual fees are around 6K, and I'm trimming them down to 2300, between 23 and 25. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, at 6K annually, you got to be running through. There's a lot. I mean, but here's the thing: someone who has 6K worth of credit cards, right, in annual fees, tells me that this is somebody who understands what it is that they're purchasing. You know what I mean? And this is not just, mindless praise. But when you make that informed decision to have that many annual fees for a card, it tells me that you have an intimate knowledge of your financial position. And then, even still, to cut it down, it also lets me know that you understand that your financial position can change. And I think a lot of people ought to recognize that as well. So, great input there. Thank you very much. Alder says, good idea linking it to redemption value. 10% makes the numbers way easier. Absolutely. It's just something I'm just trying to come up with quickly because I personally I redeem my points for travel. That is my thing. It's the best value that I get. Cash back, I just need to work harder. For me personally, cash back is not feasible for me because I have too many mouths to feed, and on top of that, I can just get another job where I can become halfway decent at this YouTube thing and hopefully bump up my income that way. But travel is something that it was always a treat for me, and that is what I redeem for, and that's what I plan on doing it with. New Again says, ideally, personally, I'd like to see Frontier buy Spirit and JetBlue in 2026. It would be sick. It would be. It would essentially because if also because I thought Frontier and Sun Country was supposed to be buying Sun Country. So if they gobbled up Sun Country, somehow got Spirit and JetBlue, I would hope that they would retain the JetBlue name, and that would be ridiculous. Like some of the regional routes in Middle America that Sun Country covers, and then also a lot of people don't know this. I think it's Sun Country that covers Bahamas routes too, and routes to Mexico. It would make them a both an international and at least North American domestic an domestic and North American international player. So yeah, I mean, I think that would be awesome. Make some people uncomfortable. Caller DS says there's a bit of tension between basing annual fees off of income versus redemption value, though. Relates to the discussion of credit cards being for your current lifestyle or the lifestyle you want to have. Well, yes, yes. What you're saying is correct. And I think everyone should have measurable goals that they're seeking, and making investments into that is smart because, no guts, no glory. But at the same time, um, I would love to. There are things that I would love to do, but I have to weigh that against what I need to do today. So yeah, that's definitely. Man, you guys are just on it today. Y'all would be on it while I have my cell phone because I would be clickety clacking on my computer if that shit wasn't a paperweight right now. But damn, that's good. You guys are insightful. See, I can learn a lot here. I love not being the smartest person in the room. I just happen to be the guy on camera. New Again says Spirit and Sun Country do indeed fly to those places and cheap. Yeah, but nobody ever advertises that though. There are ways you can get to these places. You can load up your Gucci bag and go to seat 43F and sit your ass down quietly and get to places on the cheap. Hell, why not? You know what I mean? But I digress. So let's get into. Oh, hold on. And New Again, thank you so much for being here. I actually did all of your perspectives first. I did once again, the South Florida meetup once again for July, because I think I said I was going to do one in winter too. So for July, will be July 25th at Twin Peaks on Okeechobee Road, 7:30 p.m. It is a Saturday. I will be there. I hope all involved can be there. I'm going to be reaching out to some South Florida people as well. I will I'll start talking about it in the discords and creating channels to get the information out. But before you know it, July will be here. Let's go here. Waldo Rano says 27.55 in annual fees. I won't mention that term that you hate. I know that term. Anyway, I won't mention the term that you hate, but I blow that way out of the water with credits before we even start talking about lounges, hotel, airline status, and car rental status or subs. Subs. Absolutely. Absolutely. And by all means, if you are returning value over and above your initial outlay, then the sky's the limit for you. But I'm just saying, like, a good aggregate is what I would be referring to as far as what people should have. If this is why I tell folks like oh yeah, how do I book this and how do I do this and it's like, great. I don't suggest an Amex Platinum for them unless their life specifically calls for it. I, I'll never do that. You have too many ways that you can get into points and miles on no annual fee cards. And then the ecosystems that they're building around it, if you just want to sit down and just study up, you can make things happen. So yeah, absolutely, man. If you're in it and you are returning more value, then I mean, I say do what you do. New Again says, I was late, missed my perspectives, but I'll watch the replay. Thanks. Chad, you the go. Appreciate you. Oh, I have that. It's on my shoulder. I'm literally the goat. Thank you so much. But yeah, New Again, I appreciate your input on that. I'm gonna drop another announcement in the community posts because I really actually did like that. I got great ones from you. I got great ones from Choco Fernandez. It is it's it was pretty awesome. You seen the city premiere survey? I even though I have a city strata premiere, I don't get those surveys, so I have not seen it. I've heard about it. I've heard their ideas for the new premiere, and outside of using American Airlines and I can't lie, I kind of like the city travel thing portal a little. I've rented cars with it. Um, I don't really use City a ton. There's city deals akin to American Express offers. Those can run well. Um, but yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't I haven't seen that survey. City is trying to push you up to the mediocre elite or down to the free strata and pay steep transfer tax. Huh. I'll have to research that. Call of Dia says implicit value from status also counts towards your fees, like seat selection fees from airline status and points not expiring due to hotel status. Absolutely. A great example is like the great debate that the rewards master started about Delta Comfort Plus not being an upgrade. Some people consider it. Myself, I consider it an upgrade. Some people do not. Like that, he's from a different school of thought where that is concerned. So yes, absolutely. You have to remember I count all of those when I look at these programs holistically. New again, we both laughed at your tattoo at the same time. Background Balloon says for airlines, I realize that there isn't much talk about redemptions and travel with carriers outside of the big three in Alaska. Yeah, because I mean, Spirit has a point system, but then they've been plagued with bankruptcy woes. Sun Country never gets mentioned ever, period. Frontier, there is one creator who has spoken about Frontier, and that is Lalit Devraj. He was at the creator meetup in New Orleans. Great guy. He's in the tech space, he's in the tech finance space. Great guy. If you want to Lalit, let me see if I can just read. I'll put his name here in the chat if you want to check him out. But I know for a fact he has definitely talked about Frontier. I do believe he has. Oh shit, it's not letting me type. Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, but Lalit, he's definitely talked about Frontier. Um, Dem says RM gained a lot of enemies with that one. Love him though. Yeah, great. I just missed him. He was in Sacramento, but I got delayed in Denver, not Denver, Dallas yesterday, so I ended up missing him at this meetup here. New again says city travel portal is fine, better than average, but if it wasn't for AA, nothing in city. Yeah, it's just eh. I mean, it's all right. It's just another form of transferable currency, but the AA monopoly definitely helps. Juan Garcia in the building, late but here. Hey, thank you so much for being here. So, here is my perspective, my original perspective. I've been seeing so many goddamn videos about, oh, this devaluation and that devaluation. First of all, it's not devaluation. It's called inflation. Let's just be adults here. Let's be adults about this. It's called inflation. It's literally less letters. It sounds easier, rolls off the tongue. It is called inflation, right? Points inflation are causing points to be less valuable than they once were. But here's my thing. My perspective is that the inflation should not concern people who are not redeeming their points anyway. If you are not redeeming your points for travel, what do you care about devaluations? Hmm? Tell me, huh? City devalued, uh, I prefer and choice hotels. Oh my God. What does that mean to you? You don't go nowhere. All you stay at is Hyatt's or Hilton's. So what do you care? What do you care that City devalued the points to a brand that is overwhelmingly considered a budget brand in the United States? As a matter of fact, most of the people whining and crying and bitching about City devaluing Choice, can you name two Choice brands without saying the word choice? Hmm? Do you know many people who can name two Choice hotels without saying choice as one of the answers? I have stayed at one, two, three, four. I've stayed at four separate Choice brands. I can even say, like, if they were to quote unquote, like Chase just got Wyndham as a partner, that means absolutely nothing to me. I don't really care. I don't care at all. When people talk about, oh, what's the best card to get for gas? Oh, you got to get the Wyndham Business Earner card. Don't nobody be staying in Wyndhams like that. Nobody talks about staying in Wyndhams like that. And frankly, I've stayed at one Wyndham in my entire life, and that was in Hilo, Hawaii. Um, Me and the wife, and we booked it through Delta Stays so that we didn't have to pay for it. I stayed at one Wyndham. What do I care about Wyndham? I don't give a shit what Wyndham points are worth. Who cares? It's not gonna do a- anything for me. But like people are whining and crying over I prefer properties and choice. And I want to look for an I prefer property to try them out, as especially with Leaders Club as well, because I now have platinum status or higher status with them with my platinum card. But those are hotel ecosystems I've not been in very well. So I'm not going to whine and cry about the quote unquote devaluation. Like people get so hung up on numbers that they're not putting to any real effect. I'm telling you, like, really, talk to somebody who's telling you about a choice devaluation. Ask them for two choice brands, and they can't say choice is one of them. Just go ahead. Hell, I'll give you one. And this is a brand that I stayed at back in 2019 that I have just always liked, and that's Cambria. Cambria is a choice brand. Cambria is a choice brand. I stayed at four separate ones. I've stayed at Cambria. I've stayed at Clarion. I have stayed at Radisson. Yes, Radisson is choice. And um I stayed at Clarion, Cambria. Was it a Comfort Inn? I want to say it was a Comfort Inn. I don't think I've stayed at a choice hotel. I think it was Comfort Inn. Comfort is choice. So yeah, I stayed at those four. Most people that you will most people that you will meet will talk about, oh my God, the sky's falling because of this devaluation. They've never actually stayed at these places. They haven't. They don't know. They have no idea. They don't understand the vast difference between a roadway inn and a Cambria. They don't understand how Radisson and their level above like premium select, it's like Radisson something or other. I know they have them in the Northwest. I've seen them when I was in Oregon and Washington. Radisson's not a bad brand. It's not. And especially when you go to like Europe, I know towards the north of Scandinavia, Radisson has a pretty good footprint. They offer quality hotels. You know what I mean? So it, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I hear about a lot of people talking about how points are getting less valuable, but it's like, can something decrease in value when you don't inherently use its value in the first place? You understand what I'm saying? Like when I was talking about the Peruvian marching powder earlier today, that can never be less valuable to me because I don't use its value in the first place. Even the most primo booger sugar would never be less valuable to me because I don't use its value in the first place. Shout out to Rex Bling, member for 6 months. City devaluations, man. CSP is just a vehicle for AA. That is what I do. Shout out to you. But let's go back to the chat so I don't lose the chats. Dem says, Gloom and Doom sells, Chad. Absolutely. New Again says, these travel brands make a lot of money selling points and solely control the value. They love to inflate. Absolutely. That's what I've been saying. That inflation is drawn on customer confidence. And when people shift the numbers, they just create goddamn pandemonium. Wrestling says, I've never stayed at Choice. Background Balloon says, yep, easy to name Choice brands. The backseat of my car in my non existent backyard. Tim says, staying at Artesian in Singapore next week. Didn't even realize it was an I Prefer property. Booked through City Travel, fourth night free at 10x. Yeah, I, I don't have a problem with City's travel portal. And yeah, sounds like you got a fantastic deal there. Let me know how that is because I'm actually going to be passing through Singapore, I believe, on my way to Bangkok. And just in case I decide to stick around for a day or two, let me know how that goes. New Again says, I stay here. I stay at 2 to 3 choice brands about 5 nights a year, but I book them via OTAs because their program is mediocre. Yeah. One thing I knew about choice programs, what I've used them for is to buy Apple gift cards. You can use your points to do that. And because other than that, I don't really stay at very many. So I had racked up points, and that's what I used it for. Stay at Sleep In, Choice In, whenever the snow won't let us leave Buffalo. Okay. Walderano says, I've stayed at only one Wyndham hotel in my life. Absolutely horrible experience. Wasn't worth the price, even though it was free with the $300 VX credit. Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody's banging the drum for fucking Wyndham. But everybody, oh, you get 8X when you fill up your gas with the Wyndham Business Earner. Like, so what? So what? I stayed in Hilo at a Wyndham. I saw a Wyndham in Orlando and I was staying in a Marriott. I barely even see those properties. Like, I don't care about Wyndham. It's just people just get enamored with numbers, but it's not my thing. New Again says, don't get me started about choice acquisition of Radisson. They spent all that money and didn't do anything with the brand. Their choice. Radisson Blue are very nice. Rando on the internet. I remember it's Radisson Blue. I've seen them. Um, you can actually get amazing value with Radisson Blue down in Brazil. If you want to stay in Rio, they have some very nice hotels. I'm talking presidential suite hotels for like next to nothing. Free Music says I've stayed at Choice. Pretty basic, but it did the job. I just need a clean room and a palatable breakfast. Amen to that. King Visual says perceived value versus extracted value. Background Balloon says for everywhere I've traveled to, I haven't been able to find a Radisson that's convenient enough. Juan Garcia says, ooh, Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables and the Mayfair Hotel in Coconut Grove for choice properties. Biltmore Hotel. Why does that sound familiar? If that's the Biltmore that I'm thinking about, that thing is. I prefer properties. But if it's the Biltmore I'm thinking about, that place kind of nice. But I could be mistaken. Um, Background Balloon says, if I had to use a hotel card for gas, I would get way more value out of my IHG Premier with 5x IHG points than there you go. I would take 4x IHG points over 8x Wyndham because chances are I'll stay to IHG way before I stay to Wyndham. Like, come on. You're killing me. Like, come on. Sleepy Rod says, "Oh man, I didn't know you were going live." Yeah, I had computer issues, and it wasn't a computer issue; it was a forgetting issue. I forgot my computer charger like a dumbass. So that's on me. I didn't do the announcements the way you should have. I should have. Mike Newland says, "Are you more of a cash person or points for hotel stays?" That for me, I weigh whether it's more valuable for me to pay the cash and stock the points for a future stay than if it's a one-time stay and I have the points and I know I'm not going to stay at this hotel for anywhere considerably in the future. Like if I know next year, if I know this year I'm going to stay at a Cambria and next year I probably won't, and I have the choice points, I'll use the points then. But if I know I'm going to stay at a Hyatt, and the price is low enough, less than 150 a night, I'll probably pay cash to stock the points. And then if I see a really nice redemption, then I'll do that. that's how I determine what I do with my hotels. Um, I use points for places that I stay at less commonly, and I tend to pay cash for places that I stay at more commonly because then they will have redemptions that I'll tend to want to use those points on that can offset the cash price. Dem says Mayfair House and Hotel Collection, staying there for MDW. FLXNY says I better understood folks using the Wyndham Business Earner when they could redeem for Vacasa's. Yes, I heard about Vacasa. Dugras had introduced me to Vacasa, and he swore by it. He said it was great, great vacation rental. If that's the case, then that's one thing. But I don't know if that's available anymore. I don't think it is. Pardon my ignorance of the program, but I just can't get on the Wyndham bandwagon. It's just not my thing. But that is it. That wraps up all of our perspectives. Also, phone calls interrupting my live. Um, for the most part, Sacramento's been great. I'm going to be going out with the fellas for the meetup. We're expecting more people to show up. We're going to be filming. There's going to be pictures and such. I believe it's in Joe Barreto's Discord. I too have a Discord, but it's only invite only for Chad's Money Minutes members and select few. If you are a member of the channel, please send me a friend request on Discord if you are in Discord in order to get your invite that comes with the membership to the channel. Once again, please be aware that a week from yesterday, Friday, in 6 days, will be the first episode of Bullseye or Bullshit, starring Kirby G, John R, and myself. It will be on John R's members only channel. Just by the name, you should understand that the Spice Boys will be bringing the heat. We are going to be talking about different cards and different things going on in the credit points and miles space, and we will be determining if they are bullseye or if they are bullshit. So looking forward to that. Remember, South Florida meetup, July 25th. Twin Peaks, Okeechobee Road, West Palm Beach, 7:30 p.m. We will be there. Is there something else that I needed to announce? I do not believe that there's something else that I needed to announce. I will be putting another once again, I will be putting another question in the community chat because I really like the kind of questions that you guys come up with. I'm staying in the Home 2 Suites here, booked via Delta Stays because that applies to the spend that I'm currently working on to get platinum status to give four lucky viewers of Chat's Money Minutes Delta Silver status as soon as I earn the benefit to do so. So this is the part where I say, you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here. I do not count milestones. Every single one of you who decided to give me an hour on your Saturday afternoon or morning out here in California is without doubt something I greatly appreciate. I thank you. You are the creator of the credit card creators. Thank you so much for keeping me honest, and I will keep trying to bring value. So let's just look at some of these comments before we go. New Again says, you're definitely not missing anything at Wyndham and Choice. Book them through OTAs if you must stay. For anybody who doesn't know, online travel agency is OTA. Background Balloon says, I've been to Sacramento twice to Discovery Park, but come to think of it, I've never seen Discovery Park as a normal park because two times I went there is for festivals. I don't even know what Discovery Park is, but okay. Nemo Los Angeles says, peace out, Nemo. But that's it for another episode of Chad's Perspectives. I thank you guys so much for coming. I thank you for your time. So now I'm going to head over to the embassy and I'm going to bother Joe and the gang so we can start with our reindeer games. So with that, I will catch you guys later. Thank you so much. And this is me signing off. Like 10 minutes, don't have to. Okay. All right. I'll catch you guys. Thank you so much.